Yes, you are. You see, Rick, whatever you do, no matter what, you don't mess with the New World Order. New World Order is this, and it's really very simple. So even if you're stupid, which you very may well be, you can understand it. You ready? Here goes. Pay attention. Give me your shit, or I will kill you.
So the Bible said, and also he forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hands
or their foreheads. There is a power revealed in Revelations 13, verse 11. And behold, another beast coming up out of the earth. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. And he exercised all power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth, and them which dwell therein, to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Ever since that night in Alexandria, if you remember that episode where they basically just went ape and killed like 1,000 zombies melee style, and they came out of it unscathed, it pretty much set the precedent that zombies are no more an issue for the hardened survivors. And so the actual human threat has taken center stage over the mindless hordes. So for me, and for most people, I think the zombie is a metaphor for a resource scavenger. And further into the collapse, of course, the less you have to fear the scavengers, because inevitably they get thinned from the herd, they get taken out pretty easily, and the more you have to then fear the organized criminal element. While the mobs are looting and plundering, it's the conquerors who are actually planning and scheming and devising plans for how they can fill the power vacuum once all the smoke clears from the initial chaos. So it's the organized criminal element that Rick now fears the most. The zombie element is pretty much all but extinct in the video. They throw them in there once in a while, but they're just sort of filler for the main plot line, which revolves around these hardcore antagonists and an increasingly powerful antagonist. So for this, I have to recite what Negan says to Rick in this finale. So basically, Negan has Rick's group on his knees, and he's surrounded by 100 of these guys with guns. There's no chance that they're going to weasel their way out of this situation. And he says to him, he says, "You see, Rick, whatever you do, no matter what, you don't mess with the New World Order. The New World Order is this, and it's really very simple. So even if you're stupid, which you very well may be, you can understand it. You ready? Here it goes. Pay attention. Give me your shit, or I will kill you. Today was career day. We invested a lot so that you would know who I am and what I can do. You work for me now. You have shit, you give it to me. That's your job. Now I know that is a mighty big nasty pill to swallow, but swallow it you certainly will. You ruled the roost. You built something. You thought you were safe. I get it. But the word is out now. You are not safe. Not even close. In fact, you are pegged. More pegged if you don't do what I want. And what I want is half your shit. And if that's too much, you can make, find, steal more, and it will even out sooner or later. This is your way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it will be. So if someone knocks at your door, you let us in. We own that door. You try to stop us, and we will knock it down. You understand? So this is Negan's message to Rick. So what can we take from this? Now, were we to put on our conspiracy theorist hat for a second here, it wouldn't be very hard to draw parallels between what Negan is saying and how that's analogous to the global Pax Americana situation as it is today. First off, he's saying that, we are the New World Order and this is just how it is. And so that's analogous to the fact that basically Rick's group is an outcast in a greater system, in a greater global system. Now, obviously, Negan is probably, his reach is only regional in scope, so probably not even statewide, although we don't necessarily know yet. So it's pretty clear that Negan is the tyrannical ruler of the post-apocalypse in this region anyways, and Rick's group is kind of like a mosquito that's he has to swat away, kind of like the terrorists. I'm going to get more into that after. So another parallel we can draw here with the whole NWO predictive programming aspect is how, Negan talks about how we invested a lot to reveal ourselves to you. So many might see that as being very similar to the theory that the quote-unquote Illuminati injects different symbology and sort of arcane esoteric allusions to their occultic ideas into mainstream media. So they insert numbers and different symbols and stuff like that to reveal themselves to the masses. That's the whole meaning of the word apocalypse, also, is the great revealing. Another interesting...
As you can see, what's going on in The Walking Dead is actually revealing to you what will take place and how they are planning to deal with the resistance. You see, the resistance have their guns, but the united armies of the world will outnumber them. People will fight, and they know that, and they're showing this in The Walking Dead, but they will not prevail. Because the Bible introduced to us that the only way that this power will be destroyed is when the Son of Man come back and destroy it. He said he would destroy those that have power to destroy the world. And so people can fight all they want, but they will not prevail against the united armies of the world, who will shield and guard the New Age movement to where ushers in Luciferianism and force many to receive the mark of the beast. I want to introduce you to something. In the earlier episode, their quote-unquote doctor was murdered. Why? Because she began to speak out and reveal certain things that pulled Daryl and his companion out of a mind program of violence. Their mind was programmed to nothing but destruction, and she began to awaken them. And when she awakened them, she basically broke the oath, which indicates if those who speak out and reveal what's going on behind closed doors, they will be shut down or cut down. Let's look at it. So in order to understand if there's messages that the elite want his puppets, their puppets, to understand, or a message given to them of instructions. You begin to see symbolisms and things in these movies. So in The Walking Dead, Daryl, in the background on the wall, you see a symbol of the sun. And of course, the sun worship, is one of the oldest occult religions and beliefs. You can trace that all the way back to the beginning of time. And when you see these symbolisms, there is a message that the puppets needs to pay attention to. Or else people may say, well, that's a star. Well, you see what they want you to see. And what they don't want you to see, you will not see. So upon this note, if you say a star, which in my mind is the sun, but if you say it's a star, it also points back to the bright and morning star, the illuminated one, which is also called Lucifer. So by seeing this symbolism, there is a message that followed. Watch this. So the show flips to Denise, which is the new doctor for Alexandra, along with Rick Grimes and his people. So they go on a voyage to go and find drugs and medical products for the new neighborhood. So she goes off, and I guess she wants to be a tough woman and explore, and leave her companions behind and in this area. So she goes on and she goes into this little compartment or through a door without Daryl and her other companion, and she begins to see something. Now, once the thing that she sees is amazing. She sees a zombie, but there's something about this zombie, and there's a message behind this zombie, okay? And after she sees this zombie, she sees something written on the wall. See, what you got to do is, once you understand the symbolisms, once you understand this kind of communication, then you can see what they're communicating to the elite puppets, to the secret society, to the Freemasons, to the Illuminati, so forth and so on. The Skull and Bones, all secret societies in Masonry. You begin to understand the language. So she sees this zombie, and there's a message when you see the zombie. Because usually when they show a zombie, they don't show the full body and things. And then there's a message written on the wall pertaining to this zombie. So I want you to look at this zombie. Then I want you to see what's written on the wall. Hush, hush, hush. Okay? Now, if you understand the occult symbolism and those as the Illuminati puppets,